about?
The well, he doesn't in the journal entry. All he says is they're going to go up to the World's Fair, and he draws this little picture of the Ferris wheel, because that was the first time that George Ferris, the steel maker from Pittsburgh, designed this great big Ferris wheel. So that was like the most, well, especially for a 16-year-old kid, I guess, the most remembered thing from the fair. But he writes in the journal, "I will write no more in my diary until I return from the fair." And then he doesn't write anything about it when he comes back either. But they take the train up there with his uncle and mom and grandma and his dad, and they go up there, and he talks about going to the Ferris wheel. So I did some research on it and found out, like, you know, the real name of it, and read books about it, and found out about this. That was the first time that melody was ever used, was for this song called "The Streets of Cairo," because they had two parts to the fair. One was the White City, where it was all real beautiful and these gorgeous buildings that they just made, and talked about all the great art and literature and all the big changes in modern society that were coming up. And behind all that, right where this has all happened, it's right where the University of Chicago is now. That's where it all took place, there in Jackson Park, off the lake. And back behind it, that was where they had belly dancers, and they sold beer, and they had all this, just where they made all the money for the fair, kind of back on the carnival. It's where they got the word Midway from, because it's the Midway Plaisance. It's up there, that road, and that's where the word Midway came from, which we use, to describe a fair nowadays, Midway. So I found out a whole bunch of stuff about the fair. And then when I did one presentation out at the UIS, this guy wrote me an email, this older guy. He had letters from his Aunt Betty, who had been to the fair from New York, and she talked about just being rank, where Chicago just stunk so bad because of raw sewage that was in the streets, and just a horrible thing. So I kind of stuck that there in the end. So, and then he also says, that's it. That's where he got the title for the song. He just says, he writes in big letters. He draws a little picture of the Ferris wheel, and it says "Hurrah for the World's Fair," and right before they go. So that's the name of it. Let's see. So cool. Come on, Grandma, leaving on a morning train. Me and Pa and Uncle Ed, tomorrow we'll do the same. Riding on the CNA, where I never dreamed I'd go. The 1893 World's Fair in Chicago. The World's Columbian Exposition, created by an act of Congress in commemoration of the coming of Columbus in a 1492 to a world so full of promise they could only call anew. Hurrah, hurrah, nothing made by man on God's earth could compare. Hurrah, hurrah, for the 1893 Chicago World's Fair. At the sight of the White City, Grandma broke down and cried, overcome by splendor, succumbing to her pride. Pa and Uncle Ed went to the street in Cairo. Grandma said there were no place for a 16-year-old boy to go. But I did not come to see little Egypt do a hoochie coochie dance. No, I came to the fair for one thing, and I dare not miss my chance. And there there on the Midway placing sat that colossal of American steel. And I paid my 50 cents to ride George Ferris's great wheel. Hurrah, hurrah, nothing made by man on God's earth could compare. Hurrah, hurrah, for the 1893 Chicago World's Fair. Chicago was rank, yes, and rotten to the core. But 7 miles from downtown on that Lake Michigan shore arose a modern miracle from the swamps of Jackson Park. Yes, a brief beacon of beauty in a world both bleak and dark. Say hurrah, nothing made by man on God's earth could compare. Hurrah, for the 1893 Chicago World's Fair.
Songs you have in total now from the journal? Besides the one that you misread.
The one I had to eliminate. 6.
6.
And then the two that are just about ready, that rain song, and then another kind of a gospel thing he talks about. Right when he finds out that they're going to move to the state of Washington, he writes this big thing about January 1st is a day I will long remember. And about how sad it is, and he's going to leave all these people, everything he's ever known has been in this house and this land and area, and he's going to have to leave and make all new friends, but he's going to do the best he can and follow in the footsteps of his maker. So I got this,
So did you, is your plan to do a whole album then?
A whole album
will be themed.
Yes.
Behind and then maybe do some pictures of the journal and the booklet and stuff.
Exactly. And hopefully maybe even tell some of the stories behind it, like the history behind some of these that I don't really cover in the songs completely, like the gypsy thing. I don't say anything about the Ishmaelites, but it's kind of interesting stuff. I dreamed, a big dream, we'd like to even have like a book to go with it or something, kind of a book and a CD to sell. Because a few other, and I have some of the other ideas, and just to finish up, I thought about even putting, like, digging the dirt back on there, because I've never really done a really good recording of it. It just fits the whole thing so well. So I haven't decided to do that for sure yet. But yeah, there's the shucking corn, and then that Moonlight Now.
You can see it now.
Yeah, you can see it mouth moving, and then the song about his Nellie Manchester, the school teacher. He just writes that one line. Remember that one back? Yeah.
That was a great one.
You got that one.
By you.
No, come on, Connor.
I want to take a picture by you.
All right. And then about I don't know if I did that one about the secret. We did that the other night. I don't know if you remember it or not. But the secrets where he goes up to. He has the.
How you pinched me?
No, I didn't. I just touched you. Want me to pinch you? I can. He has one comment where he talks about going to across north up here. That house is a Tuxhorn family lives there, and he says just one day in the journal or something about his buddy Ben Goldsby lives across the road, coming over to visit, and they're gonna go to a barn dance at Tuxhorns that night. Or he talks about they went to it last night, the night before, but he'll never tell what happened. That's what he says. I'll never tell what happened last night.
Right.
So that's the song I wrote that one about. I will never tell.
Are you trying to upstage him?
Look at that. Who are you?
I want to take the picture with you.
Okay.
I got it. I got you. You're on.
You're on it. Did you see it? Go around and look and see if you're in there. Oh, gotta be faster than that.
Because you gotta be faster than that. Because you were in it, but then you gotta luck. You're out.
Almost made it.
Almost.
Trying to think what I had some of the other.
Yeah, I see it right there. Oh, nope.
I got one. Oh, the other one I got to do about is he has.
All right, sit down.
They find a. He plays the cornet, and he talks about going and getting lessons in Springfield from this guy named Sylvester Whipple, who owns a music store in town. And then later on, I found out that he joined the. If it's the same guy, I don't have solid proof, but he was from here, and the same guy, Harry Glenn Ludlam. I'm pretty sure it's the same guy that he ended up joining the U.S. Army in 1910 and played the trumpet until he retired in 1950. So I figured and John Philip Sousa, of course, was the king of the world in the 1890s, and he learned to play trumpet. So I got one song kind of working on about just the music, just so I can. But that's, of course, the fun part about it. I mean, the songs are all about me and how I think of him, but I can look at him through Harry's eyes, as we talked about.
All right, sit down next to him. Sit over there next to him while he's going to do a song, okay?
What should we do? Moonlight now, or should we do a fast one? Let's do that.